finally get some bands going. This game's Paradox vs Sexy Milkman casted 2 games of Sexy Milkman earlier this week. So I've seen them play a little bit. I haven't seen Paradox play at all. So it'll be interesting to see how their play style adapts.
I haven't seen either team play.
Yeah.
At all, so I'm trying to get over the name at the moment. Sexy Milkman.
Yeah, it's quite a fun one.
It's
Same ops. There were no ops done last time.
Same ops.
Alright.
Looks like they have no choice but to no ban.
Yeah.
They gotta follow the bans that they did last game.
Absolutely, I think it's only fair. But Monty coming out, that's an interesting one. Thatcher's fairly common. This is the 3rd time in a row casting this map. So we should be good on it, but the Monty's, this is the first time I've seen Monty banned on this map. The Maestro is interesting, instead of the Echo too.
I have seen Monty Band before, and it was when I casted a minor league winners finals, as one of the teams was very oppressive on it the match before on Clubhouse. I think they ended up winning 5 rounds in a row on attack by bringing Monty. So he can be
Garros takes it way too easy on Monty. Like,
yeah. It's like, oh, I'm playing on route. Never mind, they just have to run away.
Fax is enjoying having chat on. I think a little too much. Yeah, but we're starting with a church defense. Interesting. Switching off to the Cade though.
Guess now that Monty's out of the picture, they don't need the Legion anymore.
Yeah, and it's interesting. The Maverick can often be a strong. There we go. I was about to say the Maverick can be a strong pick, except for the Hibana. But it looks like we're going to be seeing all 3 hard bridges brought in this first round. Spade's just barely getting away with his drone's life. I think there'll be a fair bit of chatting going on between the 2 teams this game.
It always adds to the fun.
It does. Oh, Paradox is about to say something. Oh, Prodigy. Oh, he's checking the strat.
He was clearly alt-tabbed out there, making sure he has the strat right.
Yeah.
As no message was sent.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So there's Vault cams going out now. You can see Spades there has the cams up on the staircases, so they know that no one's top floor, so they can skip over droning that. They might give it a quick drone with the buck. There you go. And the Maverick's droning through quickly just to double check. Now sees as a hole, and there. That is a very common mozzie, and I think every time I've seen it played, it's caught a drone. So IQ's gonna have to check this out.
That random shotgun hole was interesting there on top of red.
Well,
not big enough to prone through, but it was just there.
But it
put
put the doubt. I guess. Put the doubt in Sexy's mind, so they had to check it now. They're just taking a moment to drone everything out, really.
I like the
Getting
box weapon
dirty
skin.
open. This is interesting. So it'll be largely, I imagine, a dirty armory take. So I'll probably get Kitchen Hatch now. That'll be their next target. Is it? Yeah, as Motor Hatch is most likely electrified. So they'll be going. Oh, that's interesting. So they've gone for dirty, and now they're rotating.
The Maverick will take quite a bit of damage, yeah, by the looks of things.
Yeah, but that's just that's the price you pay.
Getting his toes tickled.
That's the price you pay. So there's a C4 coming out. The question is, oh, Spade's picking up the first kill onto the Valk. Yeah, that's a big one because it means that although Valk's put her cams out, that's another C4 that isn't going to be used because I believe it was. Oh no, it was her C4. I thought it was Cade C4 there for a second. Sexy's gonna have to get a move on if they want to get this this execute done in time. Time the nade to destroy the electric claw, and it's done successfully. So now they should have all 3 hatches, the 2 primary needed hatches and dirty open.
Oh, looks like the thermites decided to rotate back.
Yeah, this Cade though sitting in dirty could pop out at any second.
And the thermite clearly doesn't know he's there.
Well, the thermite doesn't seem to have droned yet. He's just face checking it. And that
was a mistake. Did the thermite not have any drone?
I don't know what's going on, but Lyric is just fragged straight into sight, missing shots onto the Cade. And Elements picking up 2, getting refragged by Muddy, but Elements picking up the 3rd to win the round. Instantly in with the teabag. This looks like it's gonna be one of those games. We've all seen
always know it's gonna be a good game when the first round there's a lot of teabagging happening. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about the mental battle.
A lot of activity in chat with a lot of teabagging happening. You have to keep it civil in these days.
Yeah, one of the interesting things there was the thermite pushing down dirt without any support or a drone.
Yes.
Quite a mistake. As Kaid just sat there and shot him as he peeked past.
Absolutely. They really need to get the Maverick. They need to get a thermite to have a drone himself or have someone drone for him on that execute. Just because you can't be risking having that. It can be a strong idea to put the thermite, so drone the thermite up before the primary execute starts coming out. So then you've got that position secure for when the execute comes out. Then as you drop the hatch, thermite can push from dirty towards blue and shut off that whole side, and then causing the deep armory be safe for plant. Though that just didn't happen.
However, the box lost a drone already, so
yeah.
Best drone
Interestingly,
management.
we've got a shield here. In
That is facing. That's facing the main entrance. So
yeah, which is castled. So it's an interesting decision to have all of this position down here. So I imagine they're working to see what they can do to hold down this bottom.
So
to deny the breach from. I imagine Lyric will be going for it.
They don't have any sort of. They've
got a mute, and that's it.
Electricity, yeah. So.
It looks like they might be going for a Maverick trick. Yeah. So he'll open up the top of the wall here first.
Interesting choice to go for the buck opening first.
Yeah, well the benefit of that is that you don't risk. As soon as the wall opens, your attackers can watch through, and it makes it much easier to know precisely how much of the wall and where the wall is getting stuck. So we can have a quick look at where all the other attackers are. So Lyric and Spades are clearing out this bar position, while Maverick's trying to get his last little bit done. And that's always the riskiest part, but with that wall open, with just under a minute, just over a minute and a half to go in the round, it's going to be big. This is... Sexy Milkman know there's someone in construction, but they don't know where he is. Lyric's picking up the first nade onto the Jaeger. Jaeger was big last round. Elements picked up 3 kills, I believe it was. Pre-fire coming onto red.
Six drones down on the side of the attackers. So
yeah, that's massive going into execute because you've got much less intel capacity that you'll want to. But Smoke here playing a very risky position. Could be shot from either side at this point. And IQ gonna push in, but Solo and gets shut down for it. Thermite gets dropped while throwing a flash grenade. And it's all going to be up to this mute and smoke combo, but if there's any two that you want to be alive, except for maybe a Maestro, these two are strong late round. When it's close angles.
Mute must literally be like 1 HP then.
Interesting decision by Seppico, and the Voltat works. Picks up 2, and then it's easy for Prodigy just to swing around and eliminate the Maverick.
I think the biggest factor there is that he knew he was about to get naded out, so being on literally 1 health point probably the best decision. Go out, try and pick up a frag before you die. So
yeah, luckily it just worked out for him. They'll be going to the third site, which is commonly the third site. It's not common that you see someone go into bar. But gym and bedroom. This is really the one where a lot of teams win the CCTV and the basement. They're not terribly difficult for the defense to win. But gym bedroom's the one where those 2 rounds that everyone speaks about, the 4-2 split on Clubhouse for attackers, the 2 rounds are commonly the gym bedroom. So this will be interesting to see. Can Paradox keep their momentum going into this 3rd round? Or will Sexy Milkman finally pick up a round and make it a bit more even?
Both rounds have been very close, so I wouldn't be surprised if Sexy Milkmen pull this one out.
Absolutely. There hasn't been a clear... That first round, the execute was a bit sloppy. I think they just either were a bit rushed on it for time, or just hadn't organised enough.
Yeah, both time and intel, I think, was the biggest factor there.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see both of these walls here reinforced. It's often that you see only one done, as it's very resource intensive to put 4 over this side.
did we see where exactly the 3rd castle barricade went, or?
Let's have a quick look. So there's usually one there. There's another one getting opened up by the Hibana pellets, and the 3rd is on construction wall. So with that first castle barricade opened up by the Hibana pellets, it's an interesting way to do it, but it will be effective. Get the buck open first. And there's just... When Maverick's in play, he's so good at clearing out all of these walls with very little capacity for denial on them. It'll be interesting to see the day when a counter for Maverick is truly brought out. But up until that day, Maverick's probably the strongest hard breach in the game at the moment. Even though it takes a little longer to get a wall open, it's very difficult to deny. And that wall's open again. So around about the same time, minute 40, and the primary wall that needs to be opened is done. And now the execute will be coming over from Cash. Yeah. There's the drop from the buck picking up the kill onto Spectron. That's a big one because I don't believe that's 1C4 gone. But Elements getting the refrag, doing work with this Jaeger. Now dropped back into oil pit, rotating away. And he'll disappear into the darkness of night.
I do believe that somewhere else...
Lyric popping off.
That was a good...
And Spades picking up the 3rd to make it a 4v1. So it's looking to plant, but not much chance. Elements turning on the Hibana there, making it a 3v1. It's all up to Elements here to pick it up. To pick up this round and go to 3-0.
The Buck and Thermite are both on just under half HP, but Elements isn't looking too much better health-wise.
No, absolutely. Elements decided to go on a long flank. This is interesting to see how quickly the defenders will realise this. And Lyric's already watching it as Jaeger comes into CCTV room. There. The Buck now knows precisely where he is. The Thermite's rotated to watch it. And the Maverick's opening up a hole too. Element's in a very difficult position and gets shut down by that Thermite. JK Farley. Yeah, I usually upload the VODs to my YouTube channel. Link is in the description of the channel. I'm not sure what Twitch calls it, but down below.
The panel section?
Yes, the panels.
Yeah,
That's
the
what they
panels,
call
that's it.
Yes. But then we're going back to the basement. Going back to the first site where we opened it out. It's looking like the same strat, same 6-pick coming out from the Legion of the Cade. So clearly, Paradox know what they're doing on this site. I'm keen to see whether or not Sexy Milkman can bring it back, can take this round.
I think if they improve their drone game, they have a good chance of being able to pull this one out.
Yeah. They really do need to, though, do a fair bit of work to get it done.
Saber will lose his drone already.
Yeah, that's a big one for the IQ to lose, because she's been doing a lot of the drone work, along with Muddy and Facts, that I've seen so far. But, yeah, the way that the best way to look at drones, the best way to look at drones is really, you've got 10 of them. So each single drone is 10% of your capacity as attackers to gain intel. So every drone that's shot is 10% lost. And it's very quick that you see the economy of drones fall apart for the attackers. And if you're not careful with them, you can quite easily be stuck in the last 20, 30, even 40 seconds executing on the site with zero intel as to where they are. Where the defenders are. Interestingly, they've switched off the Thermite opening this to a Maverick. But with Cade watching the angle, if this Maverick's not careful, he could get picked off early.
Yeah, not exactly sure what the IQ was thinking with the drone though, as obviously they are pretty much guaranteed to go downstairs because they only have bar.
Yeah, they could have been checking that top floor position to see, and maybe the Mozzie came up to check that again, and there we go, she sees the pest this time. Just slow down there. Droning slightly,
there we go.
but not by much. Finally, someone doesn't get caught by that Mozzie pest, and Maverick's gonna start working on this Moto hatch. Saber trying to shoot his team drone there. Interestingly, thinking it's a possibly thinking it's a Mozzie drone, but
checks on the IQ scanner after trying to shoot it. So.
Yeah, luckily he can't hit shots. Shots fired. But nah, he's we're going to start pushing on the side. It's interesting. We're starting at a minute 30. Really to start applying pressure to the site, and that's the period at which you want to be working towards site. Valcam getting spotted out in the TV there. Seppico though picking up the first frag. It looked like there was sees another one. Accidentally gets on cams in the wrong moment, but Thermite taking not nearly as much damage as I thought he did there. Interesting, Saber being allowed to just persist in this hallway just outside of
the Valkyrie whiffed about as hard as IQ did on her own drone, but...
Yes, absolutely. But it happens. And Hibana opening up this wall before the Thermite gets on it. The Thermite's now opening up that. And Fax shutting down Spectron. IQ just aggressively pushing in. Calling out now that there's someone behind the bomb, and interestingly, no one's contesting it. No one's able to deal with this. Maverick finally shuts it down, getting bombed down. Now it's all up to Hibana to cover. Sees the Jaeger, but runs out of ammo. And that's going to be it. Paradox takes the round on the run out of time.
Kaid just chilling in the middle of nowhere.
Shoots, I'll have a quick look at that next round. Because that could be a problem.
What is the issue?
It's someone in chat said that Elements is running Ember Rise, it looks like. I haven't been really taking
paying attention.
Yeah.
Ooh. Naughty.
He isn't. Tumbleweed skin. Alright.
Yeah.
We'll have a look, but I think elements
Mr. Sandman.
elements would be rather daft to be running Emberize in comp. I think
Unless he forgot to take it off after a ranked game.
I doubt it. Oh. Let's see if we can get a.
Can we get a zoom in, maybe?
My zoom in button seems to be failing me at the minute. Yeah, I highly doubt that.
Trying to see if you can see the Jaeger skin on the Mozzie.
Yeah. But either way, we go to the attack, and it'll
That
be.
just seemed like a woodland camo or something.
Yeah, I don't think it was Amber Eyes. It could well, there's one more round after this, and we'll see. Possibly, but I
I
doubt.
feel like if it was, Milkman would be raging in the chat.
Yes, yeah, there'd be a few words coming out, I think. Particularly with the pre-game notions that were happening. But again, this wall being opened fairly efficiently by the Maverick. Maverick's obviously been practicing.
That seems a little bit low. There.
Yeah, it is. Interestingly, Elements though picking up the first kill down below in gym, in bar.
Yeah, I would say it definitely is not the Ember Rise. Otherwise, there would have definitely been some words spoken from the Zofia.
Yeah, it's the snake skin coming out in chat. Alright, Pluto in there. Oh, if that mute of that smoke had been prone peeking that, absolutely possible.
Oh. We'll push off the Maverick, losing about 25.
So he's going to use a nade to open up this barricade. Oh, the mute here.
I think he heard the mute move.
Yeah. Lyric's in a very tough position here with two people already dead on his team. He needs to pick up a couple of frags quickly if he wants to be able to secure this execute.
Smoke's using the SMG-11 at the moment, so honestly, if he got the skeleton key and just wide swung, he could probably get it.
Possibly, though that SMG-11 does work in the right hands.
He has moved away now, though. So.
Yeah, he's holding the shield position. Now Thermite and Maverick rotating.
Interesting. The shield orientation is usually people don't really push from main entrance if they're trying to take the lounge. So.
And he picks up the mute but gets instantly refragged by the Jaeger. Muddy picking up Seppico, making it a 2v3. It's wholly possible that this wall getting opened up here is going to be a big one. And a double for Muddy as the Jaeger and the smoke just line up. The last one here sitting in garage.
That is a big mistake.
Absolutely. This is a strong angle from the defense, but it can also be easily pre-fired, and it's drone, so he's going to get off it. Question is,
bring in the M55K instead of the AUG on.
That's risky, right there.
Or my.
The person peeking from the garage window and vaulting in, and just with the sound of the Lamai, I think, going off and the nade exploding in it, I don't think he heard the vault in. That's alright, it happens, and we go to the final round of the half at 3-2. So that puts Sexy Milkman in a very strong position, bringing that back from a 3-5. It means that now they're fighting for a 3-3, which would be a strong win for the attack going into their defending rounds. But it's all up to this one round. 4-2 means that it's an even split. But the question is, can the defense win it out? Defense seem to be going for the same strat, which is interesting because usually you don't want to be going for the same strat more than twice. The first time you'd use it, it might be something just went wrong, and you know what it is and you know how to adjust. But going for it for the third time, The attackers at this point just know how to attack it, and they know what they're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
So
I'd say even the two, you'd have to be pretty confident in your strat to use it twice in a row.
Absolutely. And it looks like it's the same. Like it doesn't seem to be a ton of variation coming out.
The strat was working decently well until the Maverick picked up the double kill on the lineup. So
yeah, absolutely. If those two can avoid sticking their heads one behind another, then you might have a bit more of a chance of the strat working. But again, it just the more you run a strat, the more attacker sided it becomes. It's the same as the SSG strat at the moment is becoming more attacker sided just because people are learning how to attack it. People know how to read if it's open for a blue rush or a dirty rush, or if they're going to have to clear it out. They know where they're going to have to clear it out. They know where the utility's most likely going to be.
Yeah.
And so they're really going to have to, Paradox, pick something out here. And make sure that they're effective in their gunfights.
I saw a really good round. It was Vulcan attacking. I can't remember who defended, but I was casting it, and Vulcan had a flawless round, and they just cleared out the SSG roam without losing any members, just pinching every roamer. It was rather impressive.
Ash coming up on the Jaeger. That laser sight is a curious decision by Saber, particularly in the current meta, where laser sights seem to have fallen out of favor. But whether or not this Jaeger can be droned, he is. They know exactly where he is. This Ash and Hibana are going to work now to pinch. But he drops to blue. And with that drop, he's going to come up behind the Ash. Does the Ash know, though? He does. Who's going to win the gunfight? Ash does. With that micro flick straight onto the head of Elements. And that shuts down Jaeger. Possibly one of Paradox's strongest powers. Particularly in that flank capacity. Fax picking up a second. And this is what I mean. You become to know where the defenders are going to be, and you pick up these early round easy frags. And with the wall open, it's going to be very difficult for Paradox to bring this back at this point.
Maybe Paradox just have too much faith in the strat because it works in scrims and just haven't bothered trying to put together a secondary strat.
Possibly.
Put the time into learning it.
I highly doubt that they only have the one strat though. There's a nade coming out onto the mute. Onto the one ISO. It does a little bit of damage, and the second one misses altogether. The Spectron picks up a second one for the defense. Puts in a position where the defense is now in a position where they can win this. With flashes coming out onto the Wamai. Wamai's full blind at this point.
Wamai is just getting bullied here by grenades.
Wamai forgetting that there is... There's 2v2 now with one frag coming out for each side. Muddy picking up a second one, but getting refragged instantly as he gets downed by Seppico. Seppico getting shut down by Saber there. The Ash pushing up. That round, I think it's purely chalk to the attackers knew the strat too well. They just knew where the utility was going to be. They completely avoided that lobby area down the bottom with that shield and the three castle barricades. They cleared out bar because they knew that would be fairly clear, and picked up the kill on the Jaeger because of it. You can't be running the rounds over and over again. Church defense now for the first round for Sexy Milkman. Castle seemed to be almost whenever Castle is picked for a basement defense, it's commonly the SSG strat, and people will start to think of it that way. Particularly with the mute, a simple 6-pick off to the Mozzie would make it quite easily an SSG strat without the vigil. So the 6-pick off the castle to the Cade quickly though switches in the other direction, and I think we'll be seeing more of a turtle hold here with all the hatches reinforced.
Yesterday I actually saw a couple rounds one downstairs where all 5 players played on or next to site, including a Jaeger who just sat in blue.
Absolutely. I think you'll see all the defenders will be on site or near site, but Fax just pushing up there, shooting that flank drone. Ooh.
Have a Jaeger.
Lyric making sure that the attackers have to double check for spawn peaks, but shooting that flank drones means that the attacks now have to clear out all of the top floor, because they don't know if someone snuck up there, if after that drone was shot, if Legion possibly went for a run, and it's going to be something that they're going to have to waste a lot of time on. You see Buck here clearing out the top, taking out default cams. It doesn't seem like they're doing a lot of top floor droning, which is curious. Potentially they just have the faith in their flank drones they'll be setting up. They've got one droning out strip, triple checking that all of that's clear. And now they're comfortable to start pushing down the site. Legion picks up the kill on a drone, but Buck's looking to refrag his drone. Use the intel quickly, because in this game you can really only rely on intel for about 5 seconds. Anything beyond that, and it's just not going to be useful. This is a more efficient way of opening a hatch, by the way, is to stand on it or in the or near it, and just open up the long sides. It becomes very difficult when it's cage charged. You see here, this is going to open, and the person down here is looking for the kill. Oh, and by inches, he misses the top of the head of the Maverick just fleeing. Prodigy's been shut down though. But Lyric is getting another one onto Elements. And with the IQ shut down by Lyric as well, that's big. That means that the attack here only have 2 people. 1 person, sorry, to finish this off. And they know exactly where she is. She's in garage. She's going to be coming down main stairs. It's all up to Parrot King here to do a 1v5. And it's very difficult. At this point, if I was Elements, I'd be calling for his team just to pause for a second. Take stock of what's happened. You've got Jaeger here in bar pushing up. And that temporary tactical timeout might be paused. That might be cut short any second here if the Jaeger decides to push.
Yeah, usually if you're going to take a in-game tactical timeout, you just leg it back to spawn. Just chill there, but there will be 2 people sitting on top of each other.
Making sure that you can either pre-fire head height or pre-fire prone height. Either way, you're getting killed. Yeah, you're just making sure that the Hibana's there, dead there. But Sexy Milkman have really turned it around after those first 2 rounds, where they looked completely disoriented on the execute on the first one, and then just ran out of time on the second. They've turned it around and they're taking it into the second round of their defense with the advantage. Interesting pick of the Warden. That seemed to almost be a random pick, but no, they're going to 6-pick off the Legion to the Cade, enabling a little bit of Cade tricking on the wall. But it seems that Maverick's going to be played, so that Cade tricking is going to be absolutely useless.
I would assume the Warden probably be playing on the rafters then.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. Warden here, his primary strength is just he's not going to get flashed. So as you saw last attack onto CCTV when Sexy Milkmen were attacking, the Ash was flashing up onto the Wamai. And that really paused the Wamai's ability to check down and contest that gunfight. But he's setting up a cheeky fight here. But as I was saying, the Ash's flashes just aren't going to be effective against Wamai. The nades will be. Buck's nades, Maverick's nades, Zophia's stuns. I think they've actually used Warden nearly enough to know.
Stuns, I don't think he's immune to concussion grenades. I think it's just stuns and smokes.
Yes, I believe so too.
Oh, flashes as well.
So Zophia's stuns will still still affect him.
And an Ella stun going off near him.
Yes. So that's helpful to know. So there's still 3 operators that can still aggressively take that, and that Zophia explosive takes a little damage.
Interesting for the Zophia to use both there.
Yeah, I imagine the IQ's oh no. They're just going to Maverick trick it and lie on that to get the wall open. No need for any IQ to go below or anything else. Ooh.
It will mean that they will be limited to the buck for self-destruction, though.
I've always thought it's funny watching with wall hacks in, but the Maverick dead. Maverick's
If IQ
that's
had
big.
decided to open the window, it would have been over.
Yeah, that would have been rough. But with the Maverick dead, it really means that this Hibana has to rotate now to the front. She's got no capacity to open that wall there, Jacuzzi. So Elements is probably most likely calling her over now. No, they're just going to switch. So now Elements is going to rotate to the back, and they're going to go for a construction push. That's the risk with Maverick that you run, though. The extra time, every second that you don't have that wall open is the second that that Maverick can die. And if the Maverick dies before getting his job done, it's really hard to get that done. C4 confirming the kill on the buck by Saber. Seppuku getting tagged up there a little bit. And Spades hitting a nice shot through to the... not sure. I think that was the Hibana. Through to the Hibana. And the wall's not done. Zofia not able to hit a single shot, really. Well, Ed will land one shot. But Seppuku, that timeout last round just hasn't done anything. As soon as they lost that Maverick, they just didn't have the capacity to enter where they needed to. And because of that, they just fell apart.
The one thing I always find interesting is the reflex on an assault rifle, because
yeah, I've been a fan of it for a long time.
I like the reflex as a sight. I just think on assault rifles it's not the greatest.
Yeah, it really depends though on how aggressive you want to be.
Yeah.
The one-time sights are really helpful because they force you into those close-range gunfights. And with high Facts having a bit of fun.
I just prefer the hollow like sight itself.
Yeah.
For close range, and I think on assault rifles having the slight less visibility doesn't really matter.
Nah, because
you do need to.
The difference between reflex and hollow is so minimal that it's 99% preference. And that's it. Facts. Facts really needs. I bet I've been in this position as a team leader in game. Spades is just wishing he had a button just to shut down that chat, but unfortunately he doesn't. That hasn't been added to the game yet, and Facts will be giving us all a bit of entertainment. But right now, this is the weakest, and we've seen it, the weakest site for the defense. So if Paradox want to win this game, they need to pick up this site right here. The difficulty is if they win this site, they also then have to win two more sites to get to overtime. And it's not going to be easy for them. They're going to have to grind. But this is where it starts for them.
Yeah, they really do need to win this round, because if they don't, then they need 3 on the trot, and that it's not the easiest task to rally back that much.
Absolutely, and particularly after this round, the defenders will be going to basement, which is arguably the strongest site for the defense on this map. But either way,
if they win this, it'll also be 5 rounds in a row for Sexy Milkmen, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think so. I think they picked up. It'll be four rounds. Oh no, it will be 5 rounds in a row. Sorry.
Because they picked up the 1 round on. They picked up the 1 round on Gym Bed, then the 2 in CC.
Here we go. This Sledge is looking for the pick there. He sees it and gets the tap onto the Bandit, which is a big one to be getting early. It's this second line that causes the trouble for the Maverick, and the Maverick gets shut down there by the castle of Facts.
I much prefer to repel when I Maverick trick, because it does mean you have to open up the bottom first, but you're a lot safer on the upside down repel
difficulty
when
with
getting
repelling,
the top one. Difficulty
repelling there is that you have the electrification on the wall, and with the electrification on the wall, it means that you're just getting shocked that whole time.
You can actually, most walls you can stay high enough up to the point where you don't get shocked, but can still get pretty low. Honestly, about the height that the Maverick put the bottom on there.
Yeah.
Before you start getting shocked. But...
Yeah, absolutely. So the IQ knows precisely where that Mozzie Pest is. And there's a lot of drone denial. Mozzie Pest and mute jammers everywhere. There's no way that she's going to get a drone in there to find out where exactly the Mozzie and the Jaeger will be roaming. Spades shutting down Paradox. Prodigy from Paradox, making it a 4v3. It's a very difficult position for Paradox to be in. Though they've got the intel now on the Jaeger. They know exactly where he is. They've got the man on the roof. Which is that you never want to be the person above. Peeking down hatches is never a good idea. Because the person below always has the advantage. There's someone close right and gets quick peek, quick tap. But it's going to be King that gets shut down. And the shotgun coming out shuts down the Zofia, even though a number of kills go in. And the last one just vaults into Jim and gets shut down by Saber. With no protection, just had to win the gunfights, and there just wasn't the team numbers at the end there to win it.
Yet again, as soon as the Maverick went down, it looked like they had no idea where to go next.
Absolutely. Maybe they should just switch off, or bring the Maverick, bring a thermite, use the Maverick to get the electrification off the wall with the IQ's help, and then maybe just open it up with thermite.
Yeah, they need a plan B, that's for sure.
Maverick is not working at the moment. And not bringing a thermite for a basement attack is going to be a big one. And the attackers should know this is going to be basement, because the defense have won CC, and they've won Gym now in the last 2 rounds. So they're forced to either basement or bar. And I highly doubt they'd go basement. A few teams have pocket strats to go there, but I don't think they're very good.
I believe you mean bar, not basement.
Oh, bar, yes. Bar. So, once again, this seems to be a very similar strat, though. I believe there was a Valkyrie last time in the last iteration.
One thing I'd really like to see is if teams could actually work on getting a different strat for gym and bedroom, because most teams just widely accept that it's not the best for defense, and just run a pretty standard strat. There's not much variation. So I'd love to see what a team could actually come up with as a pocket strat.
I've seen a few variations. Seventh Heaven in their game ran a bandit with the M870 in his pocket in gym bedroom. Spectrum staying on his drone there. Ivana getting back on it. Prodigy pushing up from shipping dock. Good pressure applied by these drones onto the Legion. They know exactly where he is, and they're going to be pushing quickly for this kill, I imagine. You can see Elements just pushing straight through. Taking a minute to double check his... You guys are really going to have to work well the attack now. They have to win the next 3 rounds if they want a chance at this third position. The winner of this game goes to 3rd, the loser goes to 7th. So it's really a question of who stays in the finals, or the seeding rather than going into the finals. And the person going to 7th could potentially lose their position in the finals if they're unlucky with the next game that they play. Though we're coming down to it now with the final starting on the 12th. Oh, very close there, Prodigy, to picking up the first kill, but Fax has been shut down already. Next one will really be... IQ knows precisely where that is.
I don't want to risk getting it wrong, but I don't think I'd be in the wrong to hazard a guess that Sexy Milkmen will probably be the ones that will go to 3rd.
Yeah, at this point they're looking in a very strong position. Particularly with getting the kitchen hatch open now.
I'm assuming the Maverick used 1 canister on dirt to get that open before he went to hatch.
Yeah, I imagine so. It would be very unfortunate if you used 3.5 canisters.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 4.5 canisters to get a single hatch open. But
You have to make sure you do the
getting
job
shut
well.
down. Maverick getting shut down, and Jaeger getting refrag. Not the Maverick, sorry, the Zofia, but the refrag is coming back onto the... Oh, that was very nearly a kill.
There's a little bit of Pika's advantage as the IQ
Maverick
was
just
peeking off the
dropped
angle.
and pushed straight onto site. Now it's 3v2, but the Maverick's been lit up and everyone knows where he is on the defense here, but Buck pushing in now. We've got
Still
30
two
seconds,
drones.
tons of time to gather the intel. If Buck picks this up, they could very quickly go to a 4v6, 4 to 6 round, so they know he knows that there's one there. Wrong timing. Terrible timing. And Sexy Milkman take it out. That's GG. That
A
was
little bit of teabagging there, but
a little bit. But seeing that nade come out, that timing is the experience of everyone that's ever played Siege.